going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to install the Autosports Engineering adapter plate, or kit I should say, for the 2JZ to CD009. I've never done a kit like this. The last kit I did was the RX-8 transmission onto the 1JZ, which was a PMC, just an adapter plate. No cutting the bell housing, nothing like that. Just bolts onto the motor, and then the transmission bolted on to the transmission bolted on to the adapter plate. But here we got what I'm going with, which is an Action Stage 3 clutch. Open it up for you guys. It's a 6-puck sprung. Here's the plate, or the disc. And then here's the pressure plate. It's a 350Z pressure plate and clutch disc, along with the 2J. We got later on in this video. I've never taken an automatic transmission apart, but we're going to try. Well, we got to do it eventually. But here's the CD009, which this came out of a 08 370Z, or G37, my bad. But here's the adapter plate. It's for the J3 bell housing. It's a lot thinner. We're going to have to notch for the internal slave. But I've never put one of these on. I've watched a video of it. It seems pretty simple. You just got to cut the bell housing off here, and then there's some bolts. We'll get to that here in a second. Then here's the flywheel, custom flywheel. Looks pretty damn good. But yeah, the rest of this in the box, which I have to take some measurements, see if I have to use these shims. But it comes with all my bolts that I need. Oh, there we go. Comes with all the bolts I need, the 2 spare pilot bushings. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. A new seal, and then a T56 slave cylinder, internal slave. But yeah, I think the first step I'm going to do is get the CD009. I'm going to take it outside, and we're going to cut the bell housing off. And then once we cut the bell housing off, I'll bring the transmission back inside, and hopefully this goes smooth. I guess we'll find out. Alright, we got the transmission outside. You cut along this line all the way around. And then I'm going to cut these little nubs off on this side. And then we'll see what the finished product looks like. Alright, there she is, all cut off. We'll clean it up here in a little bit, but we might have to cut some more. I'm hoping not. But we're going to take all these bolts out. This cover comes on, and then that adapter plate gets bolted on. Alright, that's off. You'll take your gasket, clean it up, and put a little sealant on each side of it. Alright, before your plate goes on, you'll have your transmission seal. That needs to go in on the back side. About like so. You'll use your pilot bushing to mount it in. Just like that. Got it mounted. Once you have that in, Put a little bit of silicone, just a thin layer. For my application, I'll be using this thinner one. What you do, put this in here, just slide her in. It's like a hub-centric ring. These bottom bolts get Loctite, and it gets torqued 35 foot-pounds. Alright, as you guys seen, we got the adapter plate in with the new seal. New seal there. All the bolts are torqued to 35 foot-pounds. Now, what we're gonna do, which I have never taken an automatic transmission off. We might have to get the engine hoist set up, and I'm not sure exactly how to take the torque converter out. Never done it, but let's just dive in and figure it out. Trial and error. Alright, got the sensors unclipped, got the dipstick tube unattached, got this gear selector unhooked, the lines for the cooler. Now, there's some bolts on the bottom that I'm going to have to set the engine hoist up and get to. Let's get it. All right, transmission is out. That's not too bad, actually. There's a little access cover here that you take off on the inside. You can kind of see it like right here where my hands are. And using that 1/2-inch impact corded, they just zip right off. There's the transmission. Let's get this this bad boy off. This part is where it gets a little iffy. Normally, I thought there would be a pilot bearing for the automatic transmission, but there's not. So we're going to tap this on there like it is and just kind of see how everything fits. So I'm not 100% sure. I might have to get this back out. Let's try it. This is the flywheel that is supplied with the kit. It looks good, and it's got a serviceable plate you can change out. These get torqued to to 70 foot-pounds. Alright, I got all 9 clutch or bolts in. Now we're just going to slowly go around and tighten them. All of them bolts are flush. Now we're going to torque them to 30 foot-pounds. Alright, we just installed the Action Stage 3 clutch. Torqued all the bolts to 35 foot-pounds. Now we got to take the bell housing off, which is just 6. I think there's 17 millimeter. We'll try. Man, there might be 15s, but there's 6 of those, and we'll get those off. As you guys seen, we just got the bell housing off. Now what you want to do at this point is you need to install your internal slave cylinder, because you won't be able to once you get the bell housing on. Right here I have a T56 internal slave. And there's 2 bolts supplied with the kit. Just slide it on, line your bolt holes up. Now this is what I was talking to you guys about. That right there where it hits. That's the bell housing. Was that a pain? A lot harder than I thought. Let's go ahead and get this thing on and then put the transmission on the motor, see how it looks. The bolts are torqued. I torqued them to 40 foot-pounds. There she is. The adapter kit and the clutch. Let's lift up the motor and let's stab this transmission and get her bolted up, see what it looks like. Alright, there she is, mounted up. The engine still spins with the crank by the like a ratchet on the crank, so I don't think it's jammed up. Looks like this is genuinely a really good kit, but we'll have to see how it performs. But yeah, especially for the cost too. Yeah. Alright, now we're going to get the starter on. Then I'm going to take the shifter off. And I think that'll be it for this video, but let's get that done and we'll see how it goes. There she is. Got the garage all cleaned up. CD009 Autosports Engineering adapter kit for the T56 internal slave and a action clutch stage 3 6-puck sprung clutch installed on the 2J, ready to go in. I gotta cut the motor mounts to make room for the motor to go in to be able to make my motor mounts. I've got some IS300 rubber isolators, like the rubber mounts. They're the only ones I found with a long enough stud for them to bolt onto the motor mounts that are on the side of the block. So I'm going to use those. But yeah, hope you guys liked and enjoyed and like following me along on this build. I'm getting pretty excited, but it's still going to be a while out. But I'll record every little bit and appreciate you guys. Thank you.